Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for The Chi Season 3, Episode 2. So I had planned on getting this video up to you guys earlier, and my blue had an eye infection, a reaction at the groomers yesterday. So I've been at the vet all morning, which has kind of stressed me out a little bit because my schedule is off. I like to have, it's the end of the month. I want my videos to be up early. But I was so distracted because I was worried about his eye. I wasn't really sure what was going on. But he's okay. But he's got a cone on. He's staring at me from the storm door. Real miserable. He won't go up the stairs. Anyway, you guys, The Chi. I hate to be one of those ones that complain about something at the beginning of the season, but I think I can already see what's going to happen this season. And I mean, it's cool. It's just that it's so totally different than what we have been seeing the last two seasons. I'm just so fucking mad at that Jason Mitchell for fucking up the show, because had the show started off like this, then maybe, we would be fine with it. But I'm expecting, drug dealer gangster activity, Jason, trying to navigate getting out of Doodah's grips and all of that, and now it's just completely different. And I'm not really pleased about it. I was like, I hope the show isn't jumping the shark already. It's just season 3, and this third season was really it has so much promise, and I just am not. You guys are gonna be like, somebody is gonna be like, why you review stuff when you be complaining? I'm not really complaining. I mean, I guess I am. I mean, I'm willing to see what gets better, but right now I'm just like, yeah, no. But anyway, you guys, with that being said, the review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so let's see. Kev is missing Keisha. He's in her room. He's worried. He's looking around at all her things. He sees her old Gucci purse hanging up on the mirror. And it brings back memories of when he was in the car with her and she was taking birth control pills. He thought they were mints. He took one. And then when she went off on him, he was like, is this crack? Like, oh, my God. And, of course, they were in the car with the mom. So the mom sees. And next thing you know, Mama had to pull over and give Keisha a good what for outside of the car. Kev didn't get to hear the conversation, I'm sure, because it was talking about her being sexually active. But suffice it to say that Kevin knew she was in trouble. So she gets in the car and she was like, you make me sick. You always get me in trouble, And he's just sitting there feeling bad. So he's feeling double bad because his sister is gone. He got her in trouble all the time. And then when the mom hears him in her room, he hurries up and rushes off to school. Seems that she's been missing for 2 days. And I'm assuming the mom doesn't know anything about it or still is not really worried about it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, listen, if I haven't had any contact with my kids and they are missing overnight, it's a fucking problem. Okay? You at least can text me and say I'm gonna spend the night at my friend's house or something like that. So yeah, 2 days, I'm not understanding how we just think that, Keisha's being Keisha and out doing whatever the hell Keisha want to do. She's not no adult. So anyway, the mama and Dre, it's not Drake like you all pointed out to me last week. The mama and Dre go to the school because they want to know if the school has seen her. Well, the school was like, we ain't seen her either. As a matter of fact, she's been ditching a lot, or she's been missing a lot, I was tripping when the mom said that, why don't they know where she is? And they were like, the teacher was like, it's not our responsibility to know where your child is. I couldn't even believe the mother said something like that. And then even had an attitude about it. Y'all put so much on these teachers. These teachers is not here to be babysitting your kids like this. Come on. So all of a sudden now Keisha mama is getting worried about it. When they finally leave the school, she's telling her wife that something is wrong. She can feel it. Should have felt that a while ago, but I mean, child, I guess. So while she's getting in the car, we see Kev, he's watching from his bike kind of behind the tree. They're so distracted with worry that they don't even see him. So they drive off and then he rides his bike up to the school. Is just getting out. When the bell rings and all the students start coming out, he goes up to one of Keisha's friends and he's just asking her about like where she could be. And, you know, the girl is funky, as teenage girls can be. But she tells him that all she knows is that Keisha was seeing some nigga named Nook. And, you know, that they be hanging out together. He part of the 63rd Street mob, but you didn't hear that from her. Okay, so now Kevin is pretty worried. Now, it's day 3. They've decided to finally call the police. Keisha hasn't shown up. It is Dre, it's the mama, it is Kev. They're sitting there with the police, and the police is kind of writing it off like, you know, it's not really no big deal. They asked Kev when was the last time that he saw Keisha. Remember, the parents, the mother was on her honeymoon. So he says Sunday night she was supposed to be with her boyfriend, Nook. And the cop was like, see, that's all, you know, these teenage kids, these girls, they be with their boyfriends and all that, be having us worried, and it's not that big of a deal. But the mom is pissed because all this time Kev never really told her what was going on. She didn't have no idea that she hadn't been home since Sunday night. The wife reassures her, don't worry about it, we are going to find her. So Kev goes to see Jake, and he tells him about Keisha missing, and that one of her friends told him that, you know, she's supposed to be hanging out with some nigga named Nook, and he's supposed to be with the 63rd Street mob. Does Jake know him? And Jake was like, no, I don't know him, but, you know, we'll look into it. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure that we find her. She's going to be okay. Now everybody is springing into action to figure out where Keisha might be. Now we see Emmett, and I guess he's fully taken over this Brandon role. Not convincing to me. I'm thinking to myself, like, why are they making him try to take over Brandon's dream? That was never Emmett's dream. He's a hustler, but this whole... Anyway, you guys, I guess one of his baby mamas is giving somebody a baby shower, so he is going to be catering the event. You know, of course, when he gets there, it's one of the other baby mamas, not Tiff, but one of the other baby mamas. And when he gets there, it's your typical baby mama, baby daddy arguments / sass talk with each other. And finally, he's like, I don't have time to do this. I got to wait on my assistant. You know, my assistant should be here any minute. She was like, assistant? You got an assistant? Yeah, he got an assistant. She was like, okay, because I'm hoping you ain't trying to do me like you did them lesbians at their wedding the other day. He was like, go on and shoot. Okay, of course their little boy is right there while they arguing back and forth, you know, and she's cussing. Little boy's like, Mom, don't be cussing at daddy or whatever. Fine. Anyway, he pushes them out the room. He's got work to do. And then there's a knock at the door, the back door to the hall where the or the gym, wherever this baby shower is going to be. And yeah, his assistant are actually people in the neighborhood that he's hired to actually come in and fix the food for him, or actually they're delivering the food to him. So he's acting like it's his food when it's really not. Okay. And it's about 4 or 5 different, you know, businesses. So he's got a whole spread: corn on the cob, baked beans, you know, look like barbecue, potato salad, all this, okay? And it looks really good. So he wheels it on out. Bon appetit, motherfuckers, okay? Brings out the meal for him. Everybody's making their plates. Ooh, everything looks so good, you know. For a minute, baby mama is impressed, but only for a minute, because as people start eating the food, then of course they're like, ooh, this tastes like Harold's. Ooh, this tastes like Woody's. Ooh, this tastes like such and such, you know. Oh, this is only... So they realize that Emmett ain't made shit, okay? And of course the baby mama was like, nigga, I could have ordered takeout, shit. Later on, the mama was like, yeah, that's some shady shit that you pulled there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what do they expect? Emmett is not a cook. And I'm annoyed that, you know, she's trying to, that the storyline is trying to make him be what he hasn't been all of these 2 seasons. Like, that's one thing that bothers me on shows, is when a character doesn't keep his consistency. There's one thing to be, you know, grow and be mature and things, but this is totally something different. It's bothering me. The baby shower goes off without a hitch. You know, when the girl has the baby reveal, she finds out she's having twins. A boy and a girl. She doesn't look too happy about that. We see Ronnie going through the trash can. He's the big dumpster trash can. He's going through and getting out the aluminum cans, I guess all the aluminum things that he can recycle. So, and he looks good. He's all clean shaven and, you know, looks like he smells good or whatever, even though he's in this trash can. And fuck, somebody wants him, because when he goes to the recycle place, the woman there is hitting on him. You know, she can give him some time. He says that he's not interested. You know, he already got a woman or something. And she was like, who? Henny? Okay. Alizé? You know, they ain't gonna help you like I can. I said, girl, you got to be real. I mean, but you wouldn't even know that he was digging around in the trash can. You know, shit. She was like, you got enough money to take me out. That's gonna take all this damn money. Y'all know how that recycle. You don't get nothing for that. But whatever, Ronnie's not interested. So later on, we see him at a bar. And, you know, he walk in kind of like big man on campus. You know, he feeling himself. Blue, I guess Blue must have finally made it upstairs. He feeling himself. You know, they was like, hey, big man, where you been? We ain't seen you in a long time. You know, he come and sit down at the bar. You know, they was like, you look good. Okay, wow. What's been going on with you? Okay, well, what's been going on with him? It seems he takes them in the car. He's in the back seat with two of his homeboys from the bar. He done took them down to some damn underground, you know, not underground, but like under bridge, like under freeway bridge or under overpass community of like homeless people, people hanging out, whatever. And he actually is very proud to live there. I'm thinking to myself, like, what is happening here? Why? Okay. So he pulls up, he got his basket. Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's up? You know, hey, Ronnie, good to see you again. Yeah, Ronnie's back. And like I said, he says he belongs here. This is what makes him feel good. I mean, I guess this is how some people that might have some mental health challenges, maybe they do get to a point where they feel like, you know, that type of community is the one that makes them feel needed and necessary. I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, like, it bothered me. There was this one particular white guy who, I guess he's been helping, you know, who has tremendous respect for him and all of this. So he's telling the guys that this is where he's been, you know, this is what turned his life around. Everybody down there seems to like him. So, I mean, I guess, child, if he like it, I love it. But I was just sitting there like, what in the world? Then we jump over to Doodah. Doodah got a fucking attitude, and I can't understand why. Now, he's always been a little bit of an asshole, but never to Jake. And what is he so mad at Jake for? Nigga, you the one wanted him. Jake is at the house being a regular 14, 15-year-old kid, okay? And Doodah mad because he got his damn shoes on. When you come to fucking my house, you take your motherfucking shoes off, or whatever he said. I was like, what? So you actually paid these $5,000, which is probably like $20 to him. But you didn't pay your $5,000 to get this boy just so you can act like this? What is the reason? Why does he want Jake? I mean, I guess there must be a reason to it. And we'll get that eventually. But I was just like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna be, listen, you ain't got to be all like that. Even though Jake wants to be there, you know, or he don't know no better. You know, when he tells him that his brother is back around, and Jake was like, he dead to me, and Trig was like, Doodah was like, no, he wants, you know, to be back around you and all of this. Well, Jake doesn't even know the brother. So that's why Jake feels like that. But I just can't understand. So I guess Doodah just has this personal beef with Reggie and Trig. Is that his name? Trigger, something like that. I guess he has a problem with them. So this is his way of getting back, is by holding on to Jake that he has absolutely no feeling for. Stupid. Okay, and then speaking of Trig, we see him at the house. You know, his girl is shaving him up, you know, after they start busting slobs for a minute there. You can tell that they really love each other. Then afterwards, he tells her that this is only temporary. He ain't trying to, you know, lay down no stakes up in Chicago. He just there to get Jake. And once he get Jake, then they gonna be out. Okay, so this is temporary. Don't get used to it. Okay. She says fine. But she wants to know why he hasn't been to see Jake already. Okay. And he tries to avoid the answer at first, and she keeps on asking, like, well, what is it exactly? And he says, well, you know, he goes back to his father and how his father was there for the family. And, you know, they didn't have much, but they had each other, and the father was around and showed them love and all of this. And you know, the typical story. The family ends up losing their housing in Cabrini Green. They get put in like some temporary housing, and the government tells them that they're going to build condos for them, or some high-rise condos for them to move into, but they weren't ever able to get into it. And then the father got increasingly depressed, and he had no money, and just one day he left the family. Okay. And after that, the mom started to get depressed, and she started hanging out with niggas on drugs and drug dealers and all of that. Trig couldn't take it, decided to get the hell on. Okay, she had Reggie, and Reggie was starting to be out in them streets. And then by the time he had Jake, you know, Trig was gone. Didn't know Jake, had no relationship with him. So now he don't really know how to approach Jake because he don't know him. And he's feeling bad about it because he feels like he's failed Jake. But she tells him that, you know, you just have to make the effort. You got to go and you got to talk to him. You know, that's what we came here for. That's what you need to do. But to make him feel better, you know what? Let me get dressed. You about to take me out. And he was like, what's the occasion? She was like, nigga, I'm the occasion. Later on, we see them. They're at a bar, okay? And I guess it's a gay bar. And there is a gay guy who is eyeing Trig, who's at the bar by himself. I guess his girlfriend went to the bathroom or whatever. And the guy walks over to him and it starts to hit on him. Well, Trig was like, I'm not like you. I'm not gay. Okay, and basically leave me alone. Well, the guy was like, I'm sick of trade like you. I don't really know the gay lingo. Like, I've heard trade and fish and all that. I don't really know. I guess it's... I mean, I do know that it's offensive, but, you know, the gay guy was basically like, you the same one to say that you're not gay, but then, you know, be having your hands behind your head and, you know, while I'm giving it to you or something like that. Basically, you act like you ain't, but then you be the same ones that be in the closet trying to fuck on me. So Trig was like, nigga, I'll beat your ass up in here. You know, the guy to me was rude. Okay. I mean, you know, if I say I'm not interested, that means leave me the fuck alone. And that should be in a gay club or a gay bar or a straight bar. Same with a woman. If I tell a man I'm not interested and he keeps on going off on me, then nigga, you the rude one, not me. So I thought the gay guy was rude. So when Trig was about to beat his ass, here come the girlfriend. She come rushing out, you know, and she was just like, you have to apologize to, you know, him and he and him or whatever. So, you know, Trig apologizes, and then when they leave out of the bar, you know, she's kind of going off on him like, you can't love me and hate them. But he was like, I'm not gay. And she was like, but you with me. And I guess, you know, she's transgender. I didn't realize that. You guys told me that in the comments and said that that was the reason why the guy who played Reggie didn't want to come back, because they were trying to bring in this transgender character, and Reggie was not with that. So, or the guy who plays Reggie wasn't with it. So that's why he ended up getting shot off, killed off of the show. I guess originally they were going to have him just be injured and he was coming back. So that's how they had to bring in Trig. And, you know, he just says, when I look at you, I see a woman. But, you know, she's transgender. So she's telling him that he going to have to accept it, or they ain't gonna be able to be together no more. You know, she kind of storms off, and he's upset and she's upset. And I was just like, oh, well, okay, I guess this is another spin to the storylines. Another thing where I'm just like, what is this, is when we see Jada, who's at a speed dating event. I understand Jada wants love in her life, but you guys, why is we watching Jada at a speed dating place when she's been a nurse and she's been grinding? And, you know, it seems so trivial. Like, I can't even put my, you know. So anyway, she's at the speed dating place. She kind of looks like out of place and not really knowing what she's doing, but she's going to try it. And of course she sits down with a bunch of different people, doesn't hit it off with anybody. And, yeah, it just didn't work for Jada. We see her later on go over to Emmett's house, and he's not there. Tiff is there, who actually was just starting to smoke before Jada gets there. I still am not clear on whether or not Tiff is still pregnant, if Tiff had the baby already. Well, she can't be pregnant still. I'm not sure if she didn't have a baby or she did, because we don't, well, you know what, there's a crib around. So they must have had this baby and they just not saying. Girl, that's another thing. It's like we got all these questions we don't know yet, you know. But anyway, Jada goes over there. Tiff says Emmett's not there, and Jada's like, good, because I'm here to talk to you. You know, I went to that speed dating place you told me about. I don't need all them bells and whistles. I just want to meet somebody that's cool. Tiff says, girl, you need to get your back blown out. And, you know, Jada was like, that sounds painful. I said, girl, it is. Tiff was like, it is, but in a good way. Okay, so she gives her a card. And she says, this is a masseuse named Suede, and he will help you out. He massages shit, okay? And I was just like, Jada, now I know Jada, the Jada that we knew for the first 2 seasons, wouldn't even be doing something like this. Again, if that fucking Ronnie just done messed this poor lady all up, okay? But whatever, she gets the card, and while they're talking, Emmett comes home, and that's when Jada leaves. And, you know, Tiff starts eating some food that Jada brought her, and you know, Emmett tastes it, and he was like, well, who made this? This is good. And I guess she tells him whoever the girl's name is. I don't even know what the girl's name is, you know, but we'll talk about that in a second. So he's like, oh my God, you know, I want to hire her. Nigga, what you want to hire her for? You know, so she can cook for me and all the... Oh, okay. So like I said, she tells him the name, and I guess he's going to go hire old girl. They try to get a real quickie in real fast, and one of the babies start crying in there, and she was like, can you go give him a juice box or something? Okay, Tiff doesn't seem to be the happiest in this relationship. Them kids look like they stressing her the hell out. Emmett is always gone all day chasing Brandon's dreams, so you know, yeah, it's a stressful life. But whatever, Emmett finally goes over to old girl who made the food's place, okay, knocks on the door, and it's Keisha. Not Keisha that's missing, Keisha from Power. I was just like, Lala, really? And she plays the same type of character. It's like the same. It was really Keisha opening that door. You know, he want to talk to whatever the girl's name is. She was like, show me your dick. I was like, are we really doing this? You know, he's like, what? Show me your dick. Everybody in the neighborhood say, you know, you slaying that big dick. You know, I want to see it if you... So he pulls it out, and child, I just was like, okay. And then he goes inside, and she's got a cute little setup, a underground restaurant in there. People look like they enjoying their food. Everybody got a, you know, the place is jammed full. You know, she looks at all of her patrons, you know, lovingly. Goes into the kitchen. She gives Emmett a hard time, trying to figure out what exactly he's there for. You know, he want her to cook for him, for his company, his business. You know, she makes him pay her. That's the only way he gonna get some of this goodness, you know. So she whoop up our meals. We see her cutting up vegetables and boiling noodles and fixing meats and all of this, and then she make him a plate, and she just watching him, and he's just like, damn, this is really, really good. Like, you really need to come work for me. We can make a whole bunch of money. She says she don't do it for money. She does it because she likes to see people look satisfied. And he was like, you gonna get shut down by the health department once they find out about this. You need to come and do some legit shit with me. Okay, she was asking him like, well, where's the kitchen? So I guess she's interested. Emmett has charmed her enough that she'll go and check it out. Back to Jake and Pop and Kev. So they're working at the pizza place, and somebody comes in and tells Jake that he has a visitor. So he goes out back, and it's Trig, you know, and Trig was like, hey, you know, how you doing? Like, I'm your brother, you don't know me, but you know, I'm coming back around. You know, I would like for you to live with me. Jake was just sort of like, yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, we can try to get a relationship going, but other than that, I'm not really sure about anything else. Okay, well, Trig will take that. He'll take that. But, you know, he's just happy to have the contact with Jake, and Jake seems to be open enough to give it a chance. So Trig gets back in the car. He's hopeful. Jake goes back inside of the restaurant, and he's like, okay, Kev, we can go do this. You know, I guess they're going to go and confront Nook. And Pop is like, nah, I can't really fight. I'm not trying to do that. But they was like, you got to come. And he was like, all right, I guess I'll come. But if it's a pit bull there, I'm out. Now, back over to Jada. We see her at her home. She's getting her massage, okay? And Suede is working out all of the kinks, okay? Was her ass sitting or not? I was like, damn, her butt is big. I mean, she was laying on her stomach, and it just, I was like, ain't nothing. See that black women, honey, you can't listen. This black girl magic. Okay, you know, he doing all this. He say he can do deep tissue, he can go deeper if he need to. And then she kind of like, is that the code word? You know, she look over her shoulder, she see he got a heart on. So then she's like, oh, okay. She gives him the look like, okay, it's on. And next thing you know, child, they fucking. They all in that bed doing a whole bunch. And again, I'm thinking to myself like, not Jada. Okay, I got to switch my mind to this Jada when I've been looking at the other Jada the last 2 seasons. So, child, but they was working it out in that bedroom, honey. I mean, working it out. And who knew she was so juicy? I mean, I'm telling you, she had the big ass titties, the big booty, the little waist. I mean, all this that's just been hidden up under them damn nurse scrubs the whole time. I said, okay, Jada, girl, you look good. I am not mad. So, look like she has a really good time. She gonna keep him on the Rolodex just in case she needs him again. So when he's leaving, he bumps into Emmett out in front of the apartment building. You know, he got his massage table and all of that. And Emmett was like, hey, you know, he ain't seen him in a long time. And he was like, yeah, I'm doing massages now, you know, with the happy endings. And Emmett was like, what, really? He's like, yeah, I was just with, you know, the lady that lives up on the top floor. And he was like, what? Wait, up on the top floor? My mama lives up there. Okay, and that's when old boy just take off running. Okay, knowing that he just been fucking on his mama, you know, Emmett is pissed. So he goes upstairs and just like, Mama, you cannot be fucking. It's almost like Emmett and the mama have traded places. Because remember, Jada was always on him about being responsible and all of this. Now he's always on her about being responsible and all of this. You can't be messing with him. I went to school with him. Okay, so that boy must be about 19, 20 himself. But Jada was like, I'm grown. Okay, stay out my business. But later on, Emmett goes on and takes old girl, Keisha, Lala, whatever you want to call her, to the kitchen. When she walks in, she sees like an old-fashioned like I don't know if it was an oven or some sort of refrigerator, freezer or something, but she was like, they don't make it like this no more. You know, she's impressed, like, oh, but maybe we can do this. He says that they can do it late night. She's like, I'm not trying to be cooking all night. And he was like, yeah, we can catch the late night crowd. And, you know, I'm trying to build a legacy. And I'm saying, you trying to build Brandon's legacy. Again, I'm annoyed by this whole Emmett trying to be Brandon, but whatever. She says, okay, let's get this money. Now, Dre, she's worried, understandably, about her wife, about her stepdaughter. She's going to try to do whatever she can to find Keisha. So she's trying to ping Keisha's phone, and it leads her down there to the area where Keisha was last seen, which was at the bus stop. Now, she's looking around, trying to see what's what, and then she sees like that little under the bridge community. So she walks over there. It's a whole bunch of people. So she starts asking, my man, have you seen this girl? Hey, girl, have you seen this girl? You know, anybody around? Have y'all noticed this girl before? You know, people like, no. So she's walking through the community, and then she sees Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie kicked back, the king that he is of the community. And she walks up to him and says, do you recognize this girl? And he says, yeah, I do. She was at the bus stop. Well, what happened to her after that? Did she get on the bus? I'm not sure. He was like, I'll let you know if anything comes up. Okay. Well, Dre is getting fed up about this. She's, I know who you are. You did something to Keisha. If I find out you did something to Keisha, and all the people down there is like, whoa, wait a minute now. This is our little community, and we don't be having all this shit down here. Ronnie, why is she going off on you like that? Ronnie was just like, I don't know. But wait a minute, I might know something. She want to know where her damn phone is. The phone is pinging to this location. Somebody here got the phone. Well, Ronnie remembers that his little white friend that I was telling you about had a phone. It was a pink phone. So he goes over there to pull the little white man out of his little comfy abode and says, hey, where is the phone that you had? You know, the white guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But Ronnie pulls him out and goes through his stuff and finds the phone, but it's all broke up. Okay, so he hands the phone to Dre, and she's mad about it. So, child, let me tell you, she's all going off on him. I know who you are. If I find out that you did something to Keisha, I'ma kill you. Okay, and when all the people start kind of rushing towards her, she pull out her mace or her pepper spray. And I was like, girl, no, you did not bring no pepper spray to no fight. Nigga, you will get your ass killed in Chicago pulling out some damn mace or pepper spray. Girl, if you don't get your ass from up under there, you better be glad Ronnie's ass was there. That's probably what saved you. this shit. That got on my nerves, okay? But whatever. Lastly, she goes back home, and now Dre knows it's serious. Mama knows it's serious. The police knows it's serious. Keisha is officially missing. Okay, we see Kev and Pop and Jake. They take it on down to Nook's house. It ain't looking too safe down there. They knock on the door, and Nook comes to it, and he was like, you know, is Keisha here? Old boy was like, hell no. And Kev was like, ha, no, you not lying. And the man just pulls out a gun and puts it up to Kevin's face. And Kevin's like, I'm not scared of that. You think I'm afraid of that? Pop was like, it scared the shit out of me. He was like, shut up, Pop. Kev was like, we not leaving here without Keisha. Okay, and then it ends. And I was just like... One thing I do really like are the kids. I feel like the kids really could have a spinoff, and I would enjoy the show, watch the show between Jake, Kev, and Pop. They are entertaining. But the rest of the show, you guys, I'm just like, All right, you guys, let me get off of here, get this edited, and get it up to you. Okay, make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right, all right. I hope you have the wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.